So welcome to my honest Lingopie review. I'm currently learning French, and one thing that I absolutely love to do is watch Netflix shows with the French subtitles, but something that I really found is that I was just struggling a lot only watching it with the French subtitles or only watching it with the English subtitles because they don't directly translate all the time. And when a word would come up that I just had no idea what it was, I found it really frustrating. So the idea of having both subtitles coming up on the show at once really appealed to me. Now, I usually watch my shows and I Chromecast them to my TV. That way it feels like I am also relaxing at the same time. And I have run into a few issues as well when using Lingopie. So I'm going to cover the good, the bad, some of the issues and where they can really improve the software and just what I think of it overall. They do have some really positive ratings, which I think is just absolutely fantastic, but there are still some things that I think they need to really nut out. And so I'm going to show you an alternative, which I have been using recently, which has been working a little bit better just in terms of what I want to get out of my French learning. So they offer shows for all of these languages here. They also claim you can use Netflix shows and learn with them. They're going to provide the subtitles for both, and you can watch thousands of hours of original TV shows, movies, music videos, and also Netflix originals. And they have this feature where while the show is watching, you can just click on these words and it's going to tell you the translation, and it's also going to add it to your word bank so that you can review these words later. Now, this was really cool because before this, what I was doing is that I was watching Netflix. I would usually have the French subtitles on if I was feeling pretty motivated, and I would have to pause the TV show every single time I didn't understand something, and I would write down the word like on my phone, and then later on I would add it to an Anki web flashcard deck so that I could review it later. So it is just a few extra steps that I was having to go through. So this really excited me. You also do get this script that appears on the right hand side as you're watching the show. I'm also going to review a bit of the app because I did try to use that because I like to watch shows on my phone. They give you a few games so that you can review the words that you're not too sure about, and it's designed for all levels. And just to cover the pricing, they do offer this lifetime subscription for $199, but you can try it free for 7 days. So if you get the 3-month plan, it's $12 a month. A yearly plan is only $5.99 a month, so you get quite a big saving here. And then a lifetime subscription is $199. I was really tempted by this because I thought, wow, for life, that's awesome. I'm also just going to go over what I think of the value for money that you get with it. Inside Lingopie, what you do, you come over to the TV catalog. You can search for a title. So if I wanted to watch a Netflix show, I can search for Lupin, and I get these ones appearing. I've had issues with this search. It works sometimes, and then other times it doesn't work. But I know for a fact that this show is on Netflix. We can see it here, but it just doesn't come up right at the top, which is a bit strange. So there's a little bit of a bug going on there. Another one is Marianne. This is another show that I was watching on Netflix, and we can see it just doesn't come up, and the search feature doesn't appear to have actually worked. But then if I come over to Netflix Selects, which is specifically just the Netflix shows, we can see here we have Lupin and Marianne if I just keep scrolling to the right. Now, something I also find a little bit clunky personally is that you have to kind of just click on these arrows quite slowly, and a few times it's kind of mistaken the arrow for actually clicking on a TV show, which means that I get taken all the way over to the TV show. So again, it's just something, a little user interface error, I guess, which kind of bugs me a little bit. But note that there isn't actually the biggest selection here. So we do get some pretty great TV shows, which is awesome. There's also a few movies. So this is page 1, page 2, page 3. And then that's kind of it in terms of the Netflix selection that they offer. And then the TV catalog. So this is like their own original TV shows as well. So we have a top 10 ranking. I started watching Hotel Formidable, and if you just have a look at the episodes and I scroll down, we can see that they're actually quite short overall. This is only 3 minutes long, 1 minute long, 1 minute 20. And a lot of the TV shows are like this. A lot of them are just very short kind of episodes. We have these one like Learn with a Chef. So this one's 6 minutes on average, which you can see. Geronimo Stilton, which is 22 minutes on average. So this is a little bit longer. But I did find it a little bit strange that number 3 was just a show that has episodes that are like 3 minutes long. Because what I was really hoping for, I suppose, and just what my expectations were, was that it would be more of a vibe where I'm sitting down on the couch, I have both the English and the French subtitles on, and I can just kind of relax. However, because they're shorter, it does imply not really more of a relaxed vibe unless you're going for these longer ones, or they do have the Netflix shows as well, and you can watch these with both the French and the English subtitles, but I will talk about an alternative at the end which I found is really cool and which I'm personally using. So I'll just scroll down. There's some documentaries as well. So this is 17 minutes long. We have this one 111 minutes long. I mean, they do have one which are longer as well, but here again, like Striker's 8 minutes on average, just to give you an idea that there's quite a large portion of shows which are very, very short in length. When you are watching the actual shows, the subtitles pop up. You can click on words. It's going to add them to your bank. You can go and review and practice them later. I did run into a bit of an issue with this. When you have a word that is kind of like a compound word, I suppose, with a little hyphen in the middle, on one occasion it didn't really count that as one word. It was counting the first part of the word as one word and the second bit of the word as a completely separate word. Whereas I already knew those two words, but I didn't know what it was together. So that didn't add properly. It didn't really give me the option either to add the compound word. So it was just a little bit of a bug there, something I had to go and check out myself. We do have the flashcards, the pop quiz, the word master. I did play this a little bit and it seems to work fine, and they're pretty fun. My only criticism here, I guess, is that it is a little bit slow. You know, I'm quite used to using Anki, which is extremely snappy. Just click show answer, go to the next one. It's straight away, just like that. Whereas Lingopie, it was a little bit delayed. They also have music. This is an easier way, again, to learn the lyrics of a song in another language and then compare it. At the moment, I also do this. I just kind of use a Google Doc, and it's a little bit clunky because, again, I've just got to go through it a bit manually and highlight the words that I don't know myself. Just with this interface, it makes it a lot easier, and it was also quite fun. On this blog article here, which is Lingopie's best features to enhance your language learning, one that I did find was casting. They've said that you can transfer your content directly to your TV via Chromecast and also AirPlay, and it's available in the mobile app. Now, I ran into issues with this just straight away. So I have an Apple iPhone, and that only actually seemed to offer AirPlay from your phone. So what I had to do casting is that I had to use my browser. And to do that, I basically click on the three dots in the corner. I can click on cast, and then that did actually appear to work. However, I ran into issues when I was trying to cast the Netflix shows onto my TV. Because if I was just casting the tab, which basically just takes Netflix itself, the Netflix application, and casts that to the TV, it wasn't working properly because it didn't apply the Chrome extension of Lingopie to my TV. So it basically was just playing it as if I was watching Netflix, and that's it. So what I had to do instead was select this cast screen and then cast just my screen as it appears here to my TV. And that did work. But even then, what you get is you get this kind of script that appears on the right-hand side of the screen, and it makes the actual window much, much smaller. So it kind of condenses it to like 2/3 of the screen, which just makes it harder to watch. Again, a little bit less enjoyable, as well as you have the English and French subtitles at the bottom of the screen. If you try to remove the script that is just on the right-hand side of the screen, it also removes one of the subtitles underneath the video, which wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. You know, I still just wanted to watch my TV shows. I just wanted both subtitles down underneath the show. But in saying this, there is a way to do it. It does work. However, I am now just going to share an alternative that I've personally found has been working really, really well for me. And it's actually free as well. So I really can't complain, and it has quite a few more features. So the alternative I've been using lately is called Language Reactor. It's another Chrome extension. And so again, this isn't going to work like from your mobile phone, but I couldn't get that to work with Lingopie at all in terms of casting it to my TV. But Language Reactor, what I can do, add it to my Chrome extension. There is this demo video here, and you get the subtitles in both languages under and above the show, but you can minimize this kind of ugly screen here as well, so that it's just going to put the subtitles and play it on top of the actual window of the show you're watching. And it works for any Netflix show, not just selective shows. And you can also do things like you can slow down the tempo. That was another feature that Lingopie does offer, which I really liked, is that you can slow down the shows quite slow, because obviously when you're learning a new language, people talk really, really fast and it's really difficult to keep up. So that was a cool feature I found with Lingopie too. And it also works with YouTube. Now to talk about the actual mobile app. Now, none of the Netflix shows that I tried to load up on the mobile app would work. That was pretty frustrating. I'd hit play and it would just scroll there for ages, and after a few minutes nothing would happen, so I gave up. I don't know if you wait for however many minutes if it will finally load, but I feel like they should have some kind of error message that says you can't play Netflix shows on your phone or something like that, because that was a bug. So all the other just regular TV shows, they loaded perfectly fine up in the app with both the subtitles, and that was great, but not the Netflix ones. But to be honest, looking through the TV catalog, none of these particularly piqued my interest too much. I started watching this Hotel Formidable, but it didn't really pique my interest, and with the really short episodes, it just wasn't my vibe. I couldn't Chromecast anything from my mobile app to my TV. I did have to use the actual browser from my computer. I did get the option for AirPlay, so if you have an Apple iPhone and you have an Apple TV, then I think it should work, but I didn't test it. I don't have an Apple TV, so I can't verify. My final thoughts with Lingopie is that I think it's a great idea. I really do, and lots of people are happy with it, and I think that's great. Go and try out the 7-day free trial because it might work really well for you. Just for me personally, and what I was hoping to get out of it, I just wanted to watch the same old Netflix shows that I was watching and I'd select when I was browsing my feed, because Netflix have so many great shows, and I kind of was expecting that you could just go ahead and go with any show and it would put the subtitles on it, but in actual fact it's just a few select shows, and if they don't interest you, then tough. Same with the TV catalog, if they don't interest you, then tough. And I feel like the TV catalog, the Netflix catalog, is actually quite small compared with what they actually do charge, which is like $10 a month, or if you get the yearly version, it is pretty much half that. But I still just feel like with the bugs, I can't cast to my TV and I get this kind of ugly, I suppose, script that appears on the right-hand side. It just wasn't what I wanted. You know, I was kind of after more of a chill vibe. But if you are someone who watches shows like using your laptop and that's about it, this might work really well for you, because you have a smaller screen, the script on the right hand side might not get in the way, it might not be annoying, and it could work really well for you. Lingopie, if they do kind of expand the product, resolve some of the issues that I've found, then maybe I would consider coming back to it, but this Chrome extension does give me exactly what I was kind of hoping for. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. And this is just at this current point of time. They obviously could fix up these problems and it becomes so much better. I'm just letting you know my experience with using Lingopie. Thank you so much for watching.